Hi guys, my name is Ashley. So just to kind of introduce myself and show my gratitude towards everyone who has reached out to me, I wanted to start with this. My story started back in 2016. I was 7 months pregnant with my firstborn son and thought that things were going smoothly. And I had a few pain here and there in my back, left side. Everyone, told me, oh, it's pregnancy pains, the shortness of breath, the back spasms, and for the most part, every checkup I went to, everything was fine. My world came crashing down on May 26th of 2016. I had been hospitalized already for 5 days. I came in an ambulance, suffering from the worst chest pain. I think I told them I was having a heart attack. And after many tests and after much skepticism, I was told that my left lung had collapsed, that it was filled with fluid, and we needed to drain it 3 times to be exact. After draining it, noticing that things weren't adding up, there wasn't an infection, and that maybe something is a little bit more serious. After 3 imaging tests were done, I was finally told I had a large tumor in my left chest. It had sprouted from the rib, latched onto the left lung, and was going to start brushing up onto my spine. And then after taking all that information in, they informed me that I would be having my son that night. My labor was induced and he was born May 27th, 2016. He was 6 weeks early. My due date wasn't until July of 2016. But getting to meet my son after hearing this tragic news, it was intense. It was overwhelming. I remember I didn't cry a lot. I could tell people were kind of apprehensive on how to act around me or what questions to ask. But I think people were surprised. They were surprised at how calm I was. And I think, being a woman, there's these expectations that you have to be strong and you have to hold everything together. And, I realize now that was a mistake. I should have let myself heal emotionally from the beginning. I held a lot in. My son had to be in the NICU for 3 weeks, and I would go and visit him every day with his father, who was so supportive throughout everything. And the day he came home, I'll never forget, it was a Sunday. And then that Monday, the next day, I was admitted to City of Hope to start treatment. So I had received the news of my chemo schedule. They wanted to attack my tumor aggressively. It had grown so large as it had gone unnoticed for so long. I was reassured after being diagnosed with Ewing sarcoma, which is a very rare type of bone cancer, that it would respond well to chemotherapy, and we would discuss maybe surgery later down the road. So I have a newborn who had just came home, and now I was told I had to spend Monday through Friday in the hospital, admitted as an inpatient, receiving chemo, and then I would have a week off. And the following week, I was back on chemo. So every other week, I was in the hospital. And it was hard. It was hard not only for me, but the people around me. I don't want people to judge those, who are going through this disease and think it's all about them. Me getting sick and me having to go through treatment literally affected every single person around me. I was having to struggle to do, the simplest of things, having to rely on so many people. I had to ask a lot of my partner. I had to ask a lot of my family to pick up those missing puzzle pieces that were just completely falling apart. Day after day, there was just always a new challenge. And it was a long time that I was in the hospital. I was in and out of City of Hope about 10 months. I had a small break in November of 2016. They did the surgery. They wanted to come in and, after shrinking the tumor, wanted to focus on removing it from my body completely. They thought that removing partial of my left lung, where the tumor was attached to, 3 of my ribs, and reconstructing some of my spine that the tumor hadn't even brushed up against would, rid me of my cancer. And I would go back on chemo for an additional 3 months after that, just to make sure anything microscopic would get picked up. My surgery was 15 hours, and I woke up in a lot of pain. So I was in the hospital for 2 weeks after surgery, came home, and the recovery really started. I was immobile a lot after having a major surgery on my back, and just going back into chemo after surgery, that was tough. I really felt like I was knocked on my ass. I really felt like my body took a lot. I don't know how the body surprises me. You don't know how strong your body is. There were times where I was battling with depression, and I, would ask the question, why me? But then I had my strong days. I had the people around me saved my life. My son saved my life, and I will be forever grateful for the support team that I had, because I know that there is probably a lot of other people out there suffering who don't have the support, and they don't have anyone to reach out to, and that's important. So a part of this message is for you. This thank you is for those who have gone out of their way to reach out to me. Even if it's just an emoji on a picture or in my, messages, I appreciate it. I appreciate everyone who has come to me. The first time I got diagnosed, I was embarrassed, I was hurt, I was ashamed, that this could happen to me, somebody like me. I'm young, I'm pregnant, and I didn't want to tell anyone. And I think that hurt me. That hurt me in the long run. And this time, I thought I was getting my life back on track. I recently started back at work and doing things that a normal mom would be doing, and spending time with my friends and my family. And in December, I started getting these headaches, and not really thinking anything of it, not taking it too serious, until I started getting sick and sicker. And I think I knew, okay, something's up.